Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to the webinar on StepUp Mentorship Batch-3. My name is Ritayan Guha, and I am here to deconstruct the program of StepUp Mentorship for you all. Of late, we had been getting a lot of queries from the students to deconstruct the various features and components of the StepUp Mentorship program so that student can gain a grasp of the program, the purpose it intends to achieve, and how students can actually utilize it to the best of their interest. So we are going to deconstruct the StepUp Mentorship Program holistically over here. I hope this session is going to be a very informative and an educative session for all of you. Okay, so the point that we are going to discuss over here are like this. The key points that we are going to discuss over here is in what is mentorship and what is the requirement of mentorship, the need or the why of mentorship, and what kind of problems does a mentorship StepUp Mentorship program is trying to address. After that, we will go to the fundamental question of who is a mentor. Whenever we see the term mentor, it gets very perplexing and very confusing to most of the students that they do not know who is a mentor. Post that, we are going to discuss what is mentoring. So from why to who and then what of mentoring. After that, we will discuss about the various phases and the features of the StepUp Mentorship program. And at the end of this webinar session, I will be open to take questions from the students' end. Okay. So to progress further, let us start with the thing, why of mentorship? Why does a student need a mentorship? So the answer to this solution seems to be a very simple one. However, it's very complex when we go to the detail. As it is famously said that devil lies in the detail. Similarly, when we go into the detail of UPSC civil services preparation, the devil tries to emerge out of it. So the problem which StepUp Mentorship is trying to solve is the problem ecosystem in which a UPSC civil servants aspirant is embedded in. There are a lot of problems which any aspirant or a civil services aspirant faces, which becomes very elusive for that particular student to handle it, and over year and year again they keep on repeating the same mistakes. However, to better visualize the problems a civil services aspirant faces, let us try to see in the slide. So there is a proper problem ecosystem which every civil servant faces. For example, students don't have the proper guidance. Students don't have the proper guidance. They do not know the right resources. They do not know from where and how to start. Even when they have started the preparation, they do not know how to prioritize the topics and leave the topics which are not relevant from UPSC's point of view. They do not know how to develop the requisite conceptual depth. Even after having developed the requisite conceptual depth, students are not able to apply these concepts in the MCQs or the mains answers that they are trying to write. Even after having proper conceptual depth, students are not able to generate like distinctive correlations between the concepts of different disciplines. For example, how poverty in India can be regionalized. So poverty and geography of a country are two different concepts, but how these two concepts are interrelated, that is, such nuances are very difficult for a student to understand or to develop such correlations. And lastly, students lack critical thinking skills, and they do not have that requisite habit systems or skills or motivation to keep them going to achieve their dream of becoming an IAS officer. To visualize this problem ecosystem better, what we can do is that we can try to understand it in a framework of quantitative and qualitative problems. So what do I mean by quantitative and qualitative problems is that these all the problems which are there in the UPSC's problem ecosystem can be categorized under quantitative and qualitative problems. What are quantitative problems? Quantitative problems are those problems which can be understood through some data point. So student has some data point through which they can assess their level of preparation. For example, students do not know the entire scope and the demand of the syllabus, and they do not know the right resources. or the proper resources from where they should be able to tackle that particular topic. Similarly, students are not able to do appropriate goal setting, and hence they are not able to do the goal setting. They are not accountable to anyone. Students are devoid of any proper current affair resources, and they find everything under the sun important. However, they totally avoid which topics to read and what not to read. Notes making. Effective notes making is always a problem for the students. They do not know how to make notes and for what purpose they should make the notes for. Mock test. Most of the students, they prefer giving maximizing the number of tests they are giving. However, they actually ignore the point, as in how to analyze the mocks, how to anticipate questions if one question has already come into the UPSC's examination. And lastly, preparation tracking. As it is famously said that what gets measured gets managed well. Similarly, a student should be able to track their preparation well. And secondly, the qualitative set of problems which are more subjective in nature and are majorly individual dependent. So every student is a different individual with their own unique set of strengths and limitations, and there cannot be one size fits all approach to the UPSC civil services preparation. Every student with their own strengths and limitations will have a different plan for themselves and a strategy for themselves. And that is why when we look around the internet for different sort of resources, whether be it toppers interviews or topper strategies, a topper strategy must have worked for a particular student, but that is not necessary that it might also work for you. So these things, let us try to analyze these things. So the qualitative problems are those problems which are very personal to a particular student. It will be dependent on a student's capacity, strengths and limitations. For example, a student does not have proper guidance, so they do not know when to start, where to start, what to do, and finally how to do it. Secondly, in their civil services preparations, student lacks timely and critical feedback. Most of the students, there is a tendency, they tend to lock themselves in their room and they follow one proper strategy, and after following that strategy they realize that this strategy is not working for them when the results are not positive. So this highlights the importance of critical and timely feedback. How to be precise with information. See, since we are living in a digital and an information age, we are flooded with a lot of information. However, this becomes very difficult for a student to actually prioritize the topics which are actually important, and secondly, how to eliminate the points which are not relevant from UPSC's point of view. And this is where the role of a mentor comes in. The role of a mentor is to harmonize the relationship between quantitative and qualitative problems. We can understand it even better with an analogy of an iceberg. So just imagine, just like the iceberg is visible very small way above the surface of the water. So as iceberg is visible in a very small proportion over the surface of the water, most students try to hit the quantitative problems of theirs. So they focus on maximizing the number of mocks, they focus on just rote learning of current affairs, they focus on just single-handed going for the basic template of resources, which are just the tip of the iceberg. These are the quantitative problems. However, there are certain more deeper and elusive set of problems which a student faces. For example, let us try to understand the relationship between the quantitative and a qualitative set of problems. We know it very well that it goes with the public wisdom that we need to solve as many mocks as possible. So some student would say, okay, I have solved 60 mock papers before the prelim examination, but how did you analyze it? Most students say that, okay, we need to solve PYQs, but how did we analyze it? And how did we anticipate further? So if a question has come in the examination, a student with proper guidance from a mentor should be able to anticipate the questions which might come in the future. For example, in civil services 2020 examination, there was a question on elephant. Okay, so elephant, why the UPSC bothered to ask about the question on elephant? Because at that time, during that year, there was one ghastly incident in Kerala where some notorious elements put explosive element in a pineapple and they fed it to the elephant, which led to the death of an pregnant elephant mother. So UPSC asked about the social behavior of the elephant, whether an elephant's herd is led by a female elephant, etc. So what we need to identify from such questions is that if UPSC has asked about the social behavioral elements of an animal, they can also ask about behavioral elements of other animals, for example lion, whether they also have a social organization. And this year in 22 in 23, they have asked two questions of such behavioral elements of animals. For example, there was one question on which animal goes for tool making to eat insects, and secondly there was one question on the waggle dance by the bees. So this is how we are going to anticipate the questions. Most students go for the quantity. I'm again telling you, most students go for the quantity. They absolutely ignore the qualitative aspect of the problems. Students are hitting only the quantity. That is the tip of the iceberg. And after years and years pouring their energy, time, money, everything into the preparation, they have got no idea about the qualitative aspects of the civil services preparation. So if UPSC has, just to illustrate it, if UPSC has asked a question about orangutan, so you should know where does orangutans are naturally found, and or since orangutan is an ape, you should know about the other three big apes and which ape is found in India. So this is how you should develop your critical thinking skills, and this is where the role of a mentor comes in. The primary role of a mentor is to teach you how to think better. The only thing which separates an individual or a human from the animal kingdom is the capacity of humans to think better. Every student, whether be it academically very good student or an average student, they read same resources mostly. But why are there differential outcomes? Because the thing is that the students who have unconsciously learned the right way of learning or the right way of thinking, they are better able to produce better results in the examination. However, it is not the responsibility or the fault of the students if they have not been taught how to learn. So there is one very important and a very interesting concept of meta learning. What is meta learning? Meta learning is learning how to learn. Most of the students, they know that they have to learn a chapter of say any standard book, say DD Basu, they have to learn fundamental rights. But how to learn it? Most of the students, they find problem over there. They do not know how to develop requisite conceptual depth and apply those concepts, and secondly correlate concepts with the concepts of other disciplines. Just like I had mentioned earlier, poverty can be a sociological concept or a concept which we study in society. However, we also study poverty in economics from different dimensions. We also focus on poverty in the governance arena as well. So the poverty as a real phenomenon is same. However, different disciplines are trying to view it in a different way. And these are the complex nuances. If a mentor is there, they will be able to handle or de-link the relationship between the quantitative and the qualitative problems by appropriately devising solution strategies to the students according to their own needs. So going further, since we have already discussed the kind of problems a student faces and like how these problems keeps on pestering year after year, and students only focuses on the quantitative elements and they totally ignore qualitative elements for multiple attempts, and finally by the virtue of the time they realize that cracking UPSC civil services is not just the game of academic excellence. There are certain other things which needs to be done to clear this examination. And what are these other things? That is right guidance, strategy and planning, appropriate goal setting and disciplined execution, finding gaps in your preparation, monitoring and accountability, and finally, there has to be a person who should motivate you also. Since we are not machines, we are not designed to work like 12 hours in a day every day throughout the year. That is not humanly possible. And this happens with everyone, that there will be times when we are at peak of our productivity, and there will be times that we are not able to perform as per our expectations. And that is why we at Vajiram and Ravi, we thought that there has to be certain program which should merge these problems in a most effective manner and to provide very appropriate solution strategies to the students based on their unique situations and circumstances. And that's why we came up with Vajiram and Ravi's StepUp Mentorship Program, where every student will be associated with a mentor throughout the cycle of their preparation. And from this thing comes the point of who is a mentor and what are their roles. So let me go to the next slide. So see, the first feature of StepUp Mentorship Program is individualized one-to-one mentorship. First feature of the StepUp Mentorship Program is individualized one-to-one mentorship. So before we begin like illustrating about the feature, about this feature, we should know about who is a mentor. So mentor is that professional person who has got a great experience of the entire process of UPSC civil services preparation, and through their learnings of various years, they understand the complete complexities and the challenges which this preparation throws up in the path of the students, and they provide students with appropriate suitable strategies to overcome such challenges. So mentor can be your father, mentor can be your mother, mentor can be your elder brother or sisters, or mentor can be one of member of your peer group who have cleared the civil services. However, what separates them from an actual mentor is the level of accessibility. So a mentor should know the complete spectrum of challenges this examination throws up, and secondly, they should be accessible to the student in real time, so to give them the feedback when it is rightly required, so to help the students do the right things through the right way and at the right time. Mentors play a critical role in it. So coming to the first feature, which is individualized one-to-one mentorship. What do I mean by individualized one-to-one mentorship? As explained earlier also, every individual is different with their own unique circumstances and situations, strengths and limitations. And that's why one size fits all does not work for everyone, and there has to be a proper unique strategy for every unique individual. Of course, I'm not saying that every tenet or facet of the strategy for every individual will be different. Like 50% can be same, however 50% should take in account the individuality of that particular individual. What is common between a person who gets rank 1 in the civil services examination and a person who is not able to qualify it is that they both have the same goal to become like rank 1 in the UPSC civil services examination or to become an IAS officer. However, what they don't realize is that they are different individuals and they start from different timelines. Let us try to understand it in a very simplistic terms. For example, imagine that getting into an IAS service is like climbing into the top of the mountain or this summit. So there might be one aspirant over here, aspirant 1, and there might be a other aspirant, aspirant 2. So, and there might be one or two paths, path 1 and path 2. So the thing is, every student both the students, what is common between both the aspirants is that they want to climb to this summit or to become an IAS officer. However, they do not realize that these two people are at different positions. So these two people have to devise different strategies to get there in the same time. And that is why if a mentor is there overlooking their activities, they will be able to guide them better. in what way they are going to utilize their resources. And what are these resources? The time, the kind of energy these people have, and what kind of books or materials these people are using. So that's why a role of a mentor becomes very important. So let us try to see what kind of a role does a mentor play. So one of the most important fundamental role a mentor plays is to provide complete hand holding and guidance to the student. As explained earlier, since every student is different with their own unique set of limitations and strengths, a mentor's primary responsibility is to assess the strengths and limitations of a student and to devise a proper strategy to help the student achieve the desired goal in the desired amount of time. So to make the students do the right thing the right way and at the right time, a mentor should have that emotional intelligence to understand the requirements of the student and to provide a suitable strategy to overcome such challenges. Secondly, as told earlier also through various examples, that a student should be able to think better. If we are able to think better, we will be able to learn better, and then we will be able to perform better. Thirdly, as helps in identifying the gaps in the preparation. So what happens is that very famously Albert Einstein had said that insanity is doing same things over and over and expecting different results. Similar thing happens in preparation for civil services preparation, where student keeps on repeating the same mistakes every year and they expect positive results out of it. Okay, so that is the thing, that students do not identify their gaps in preparation, whether be it in strategy or planning or taking mocks or analyzing mocks, etc. So if a mentor is over there properly monitoring your activities and uh, helping you to take very calculated steps, they will be able to see the kind of insidious pattern of mistakes you are repeating every year, and they will be able to help you identify those patterns and provide you with proper solution strategies to help you overcome such things. Fourthly, provide timely and regular feedback. See how the system of feedback works in the UPSC civil services preparation is that if a student does not have a mentor, they will get a feedback once in a year through the UPSC only, that okay, you have cleared or not cleared the examination. So if you have cleared, that is very good, but if you have not cleared, so that is also a feedback from UPSC telling you that you were not if you are not bad enough, but you are also not good enough to get selected to the examination. However, if a mentor is there and if a student keeps on good association and regularly meeting with the mentor will be able to monitor their activities, their study time, their habits, their personality, their attitudes, and will be able to provide timely and regular feedback to the students, which will help them fine tune their strategies at will, which will help them students to reach their desired location in the right time. Fifth point, provides constant monitoring and accountability. What do I mean by that? Since you will be associated with a mentor, mentors will be monitoring your study schedules, whether you are following up with the weekly plans or not, whether you are diligent enough or not, and accountability, that students will be accountable to the mentor. So if you had been given certain tasks, for example, if a mentor had asked you that okay, you have to solve 10 questions today, and if you could not solve 10 questions, then you will be answerable to the mentor that why you couldn't solve these 10 questions. And through this we will be enforcing more discipline and the skill of time management in you. And lastly, as discussed earlier also, motivation and encouragement. As we know that we are not machines and we are not designed to work like 12 hours throughout the year, 365 days in a year, and it becomes very difficult for a student to keep up the tempo, and there will be times that students will not be able to perform as per their expectations. So in a month they will be studying, for a month they will be studying for like 12 hours a day. There will be days where you will not be able to study 4 hours. However, in this grim situation, if there is a person with you who understands this sort of problem which a student faces, it boosts their morale to the peak, and it helps students to perform beyond their comfort zone. Okay, so these are the prominent the role which a mentor plays in the life of a student. And there are many other features to this StepUp Mentorship Program, but what I would like to highlight is this feature number 1, which is individualized one-to-one mentorship. forms the complete backbone to the entire program. Whatever other features are there, if a mentor is there with you, you will be able to extract more out of other features. I will explain how you are going to do that. So let us see the other features also. So the features 2 is weekly curriculum. So how we have like devised the goal setting framework in StepUp Mentorship is that we break down every subject. So let's say polity. So we have broken down polity in 4 modules. So the entire syllabus of the polity has been broken down into 4 modules, and every module has to be done in a very stipulated amount of time, which a mentor will prescribe to the student. So there will be a case where students will be not able to perform or not able to complete the modules in the stipulated amount of time. That is okay. That is not a problem. However, we need to focus on the issue that whether we are completing the modules in the most qualitative manner or not. So one of the critical foundational facet of the UPSC Civil Services preparation is how we are managing the quantity and the quality of the preparation. Okay. So every module, after every module, every student will be assessed with 50 MCQ questions and 10 subjective questions, which they have to write in the stipulated amount of time and which will be reviewed by the mentor in a one-to-one personal session. And every module will begin with a guidance video. So guidance, the idea of guidance video is, since every module syllabus or study plans will be shared with the students along with the guidance video. In guidance video, we will discuss the major facets that we need to prioritize in that particular module, looking through the UPSC's like point of view. So if, say for example, salient features of constitution, if UPSC has asked in previous way more questions from these areas, so mentors will tell you, okay, in module 1, if there are 10 topics, you need to focus, give more time to these areas because it is more important from UPSC's point of view. Okay. So in this way, we have broken down every subject into smaller modules, and every module will be assessed separately so that to ensure that there is no blind spot left in the preparation for UPSC Civil Services. Apart from the guidance video, there are another set of thematic high yield videos that we call. So high yield videos are, within the module, there might be certain very important topics, for example, preamble in this case, which we feel that are very important and relevant from UPSC's point of view. And as mentors, we feel that students should have more conceptual clarity and conceptual depth in these areas. So to provide more detailed and comprehensive knowledge to the students and to help them learn better more complex and convoluted topics, in StepUp Mentorship, we are also providing thematic videos on very important topics which students will like finds very difficult to understand, and usually for such topics there is no one source to prepare for it. So for every module there will be 2 sets of videos. One is guidance videos, which will provide one brief overview about the corresponding week, and secondly the thematic videos, which will comprise of the topics which are very important from UPSC's point of view. Okay. So going to the next feature is thematic workbooks. Thematic workbooks is the fundamental mainstay feature of StepUp Mentorship, because we have like given a great energy and intellectual spirit in devising and designing the workbooks. So the whole intent of the workbook is that what we had realized, or we have realized, is that most students who prepare for the civil services examination, before the examination comes, they end up having notes only for the prelims portion, and they are, since by the nature or the virtue of the preparation is as such, that they are not able to consolidate notes for the mains part. So to help students in these areas, we have devised workbooks in which we have broken down topics into very fundamental questions. Like for example, let us see the basics of constitutions. What is constitution? Suggest the different ways of classification of constitution. What is the significance of having a constitution for democracy? Enumerate provisions provided in Indian constitution to secure negative liberty. So every important topic is broken down into an array of very logical fundamental questions, and it has been aligned in question answer format, so that student will first read it from the standard source and then they will fill it. And what we have done is that we have provided answers to like roughly 40% of the questions that have been provided in the workbook, and students are expected to read it from the study material or the whichever source they are referring to, and then try to attempt it. By the virtue of doing this, they will firstly develop higher order thinking skills, because the workbooks are aligned in such a way so as to enthuse a very higher order thinking skills in the students. Secondly, it will also help the students in better articulation and development of finer answer writing skills. Feature number 4 is high yield videos, which we have already discussed in the weekly curriculums. And feature number 5 is current affairs. So current affairs forms the backbone for civil services preparation, and it also is one of the most painstaking point of civil services preparation. Most students find it very difficult to prepare current affairs, how to prepare notes for it, what to read, what not to read, how to make notes, for prelims, how to make notes for mains. Every facet of the current affair preparation will be covered with the help of the mentor, where mentors will guide you which portion to read, what not to read, how to make notes, what portions to avoid, how to prioritize the like points for the current affairs. And in the content way, we are also providing current affairs, like daily current affairs. We are providing daily current affairs quiz and monthly recital magazine also. So apart from it, what role can a mentor play over here? This is a very intuitive question, as in what role can a mentor play in the current affair preparation? So mentor can help student eliminate the noise from the information. Mentors, through their whole experience and learnings in their own process, they understand what is the need of the examination and what should actually be read from the newspapers and what can be very conveniently avoided. And these very critical information can be very conveniently provided to the students, which will help them read in a very crisp and succinct manner. And since the reading and learning is crisp, their notes will automatically be crisp. Okay, coming to the next feature, assessments. So assessments form the backbone of any learning system, since assessments help us to determine whether we could actually understand the concepts which were expected of us, and secondly, whether we could develop the correlation between the concepts of different subjects, and thirdly, whether we could actually apply those concepts or not. So to understand these things, we should subject students to a lot of assessments, and StepUp is full of assessments at various levels. To begin with, as discussed earlier, we have weekly module wise assessments, where every module will be assessed individually, and every module will be assessed by 50 MCQs along with 10 subjective questions, will be assessed and reviewed by the mentors itself, so that every week will be a feedback for you, and whatever suggestions the mentors are giving you, you have to incorporate them before you attempt for the next weekly module. And when you attempt the next weekly modules assessment, mentor will again review it, and they will ask you whether you have incorporated the changes suggested by them or not. Secondly, we have prelims test series, we have prelims camp, mains test series, essay test series. So StepUp mentorship overall comprises of a lot of test series, and it is a one-stop solution for all the assessments that you have been looking for to clear or to give a next level edge to your civil services preparation. Now again, an intuitive question: what role does a mentor play over here? We have to think, what role does a mentor play over here? See, as discussed very earlier in the quantitative and qualitative problems, is that most students, they focus on maximizing the number of tests they are giving. However, they do not understand that it is not about just the numbers of tests that they are giving. It is more about the quality of learnings that we are taking out of it. So what we have to think is that what mentors can do over here is that mentors will help you identify the gaps in the preparation better. They will ask you, what questions did you actually make wrong and why did you make it wrong? So whenever a student attempts a wrong question, it can be due to various reasons. For example, as simple as that, if a student is marking a question incorrect, moreover, 4 possibilities are there. For example, student must not have read the particular concept. Secondly, a student might have read it but could not remember it. A student Thirdly, a student read the concept, remembered it but could not understand it. Fourth, student read the concept, understood it but could not apply it. So a student should know the where are they actually standing in the spectrum of learning. So if you have just completed the syllabus and you do not even know what kind of mistakes you are making, then you are not able to take maximum out of the test series. So what mentor can help you over here is to extract maximum out of everything what you do, because mentor will tell you to do the right thing the right way and the right time. Okay, going to the next feature, essay modules. So essay module course will be separately held with StepUp, in which Vijender sir will be taking the essay classes. Roughly 12 classes will be there, where will be extensively dealing with the essay preparation and providing an edge to your preparation. And lastly, performance tracking dashboard. Performance tracking dashboards idea came from the like public administrative perspective, which says that what gets measured gets managed well. So if a student has an idea about like what kind of hours they are giving to which subject and what kind of hours they are actually devoting in every day, in every week or in every month, they have better idea about like about their sitting capacities, about their aptitude, etc. And since they have better idea about themselves and the kind of input they can provide, they will be in a position to plan better for the coming time. So that's why we provide with a performance tracking dashboard, which will not only be visible to you but also to the mentor, so that the mentors can hold you accountable as in whether you are studying or not studying. Okay, so coming to this thing about the phases of the program. So the StepUp Mentorship Program basically comprises of 3 phases. So in the first phase, which is starting from 28th of August for batch 3, 28th of August 2023. So in the first phase, StepUp Mentorship Program will focus on both combined prelims cum mains preparation, because this is the major time where both prelims and mains should be the focus of the student. Mains plus prelim. Here we'll focus on giving tests not only for the prelims but also for the mains. And since you will be writing weekly answers, weekly 10 answers, minimum weekly 10 answers you have to write. And since you will be writing on a very regular basis, your answer writing skill will have very exponential growth. In the second phase, which will begin roughly from Feb end, Feb 20s, till it will go till prelim examination, where we'll focus primarily on the prelim part through extensive mocks and their analysis, mind it. In the second phase, we will be focusing entirely on the revision and extensive mocks of the prelims along with analysis. So just giving the paper won't help. After giving the paper, you have to sit with your mentor and need to analyze the paper every time. And just seeing through the question, you need to anticipate questions as well. If X question has come, what else can come in the paper? And lastly, the third portion, which will begin after pre, the phase 3 is exclusive mains preparation, where we'll extensively focus on answer writing, where we'll create our base through VTS focused test series, and we will write extensively, which will be reviewed by the mentor. So after writing test, the copies will get evaluated and you will sit with your mentor to get it reviewed very extensively. So this is all about the phases of the program. Let us see how does it function properly. So how does StepUp work? So it is like if a student has enrolled, let us try to visualize how does it actually work. So the thing is, as soon as the week will start, mentor will give you the study plan or the weekly plan. It will be provided by the mentor. So since you have got the study plan, now you have started the studying for the weekly plan. In mean course of time, say for example, if you have started studying polity and you got doubt, all you have to do is just to drop a message or to take an appointment with the mentor, which will be dealt on the same day only. So you will meet with the mentor, whether if you are an online student, you can have a Zoom call or a Google Meet call. If you are an offline student, you can come down to the institute by taking proper appointment. The mentor will clear the doubt. The mentor will ask you questions also. After that, since you are done with the weekly curriculum, it will be assessed again by 50 MCQs and 10 subjective questions. Your assessments will be reviewed by the mentor, and this sequence will follow for the next week. Okay, so we use very innovative and suggestive tools by the mentors who take innovative measures to enhance learning outcomes of the students, which you can only experience by actually enrolling to the program. How, since it is very difficult to explain it over here. And lastly, so the program duration is roughly 14 months. It will continue till September 2024, till the mains examination. About the mode of the program, this program is available in both online and offline mode in both Chennai and Delhi centers of Vajiram and Ravi. So repeating it again, StepUp Mentorship Program is available in both the centers, that is Delhi and Chennai, and along with it, it is available also in online mode, and it is hybrid in nature. For example, what does it mean by being hybrid in nature? So for example, if a student is sitting in Bhopal and has enrolled in StepUp Mentorship through online mode, and if in mean course of time they decide to come down to Delhi, so we'll shift it to offline mode. So that's why it is hybrid mode. Now coming to the questions part, I hope this session was informative in nature, and I'll be open for the questions. So please ask your questions, and I'll be catering it to one by one. Students, like I guess a lot of you are there in the session. If you have got any questions, I'll be delighted to answer your queries. Please ask your questions. If there are questions, we'll be happy to help you. Setupati, do you guys provide materials? Yeah, we provide materials. So workbook is a sort of a material only, very dense, very condensed. And secondly, we provide current affair materials also. Sir, is the current affairs module included? No, so the current affairs module is not included in it. However, like a lot of current affair resources are available to you. Apart from it, mentors will help you in identifying the topics which are actually important from UPSC's point of view for the current affairs. So they will be able to help you read in a very targeted manner. Does it cover optional subject too? Thank you, Setupati, for asking this question. StepUp Mentorship is exclusively for the GS preparation, and we are not catering to the optional subjects. FCT2 वीकली टेस्ट एंड वर्कबुक प्रैक्टिसेस दोनों ही सेपरेट है, राइट? एग्जैक्टली दोनों ही सेपरेट है. FCT2 weekly tests and workbook practices are absolutely separate. They are like not related. Manjoy Tripura, good evening sir, good evening. How to buy this course online? SG $GH. So you can basically go to the website course page, and link is provided over there. You can buy the course over there. Can we please scroll from the starting so that we can have the questions if there are any? Please scroll on. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Like, come down, yeah. Prajakta Davari. Is StepUp Mentorship Program and 10 months prelims cum mains GS comprehensive programs are different? Yes, they are different. So 10 months comprehensive prelims cum mains general studies program is a classroom program where lectures will be taken. However, StepUp Mentorship is a mentoring program. FCT2 thematic videos are live honge? No, it's a recorded lectures. Setupati, do we have to study the optional parallel to the GS, right, sir? Yes, you have to study optional parallelly, and how we function is that a mentor will sit with the student and they will devise their whole day. So every facet of the student's day will be designed in an appropriate manner, and mentor will help student appropriate right amount of time to the right portion of the syllabus, whether be it GS or optional. I guess Setupati, this provides you like with your answer. So I guess it was an informative session for you guys. Is it beginner friendly? Prajakta Davari, it is absolutely beginner friendly. It's all about the right guidance and to do the right things at the right time and in the right way. Materials you provide from the standard books, Sachin Gupta, the kind of materials which we have, which we are making in StepUp is beyond the standard books. We are going through various academic journals and we use such journals to create our materials. So a lot of effort goes into that preparation. Tarun Patel, is there will be current affairs classes? No, there will be no current affair classes as such. However, we have not promised this thing in the program. However, last year we had taken few refresher classes. CSAT courses will be included, then it is good and affordable. CSAT recorded lectures have been provided. Will covers Saurabh Vishwakarma will cover UPSC syllabus in 10 months. Saurabh Vishwakarma, thank you for asking this question. See, it depends again, as I had suggested earlier. It depends on individual's capacity. There will be certain students who will be able to finish the course in 8 months only, and there will be certain students who will be able to finish the course in 14 months. So it depends absolutely on the capacity of the student. However, we have got a very strict timeline with us. So StepUp is a very rigorous program and we push the students to sphere through their comfort zone. If Setupati, please can you brief about the materials, please, and sorry to bother you again. No issues, Setupati. If please feel free to reach out over the call. We'll be happy to help you. सर आंसर राइटिंग में वैल्यू एडिशन के लिए हमें क्या स्टडी मटेरियल प्रोवाइड होंगे? Answer writing ke liye you will be provided the model answers for it. Apart from it, mentors will sit with you for every test and they will discuss the papers and they will review the papers for you. So it is absolutely helpful for the students. Workbook, magazines, etc. hard copy mein provide honge. Workbooks are currently being provided in the PDF format only. So we are not going for workbooks in the hard copy. It will be provided. Setupati, you can contact our you can get the call center's number from our website itself, and you can give them a call and ask them to speak with a mentor in StepUp Mentorship. Okay, I guess I hope that this session was informative for you guys. Sir, can we write answers by our own? And yes, Tarun Patel, thank you for asking this question. It's a good question. So apart from your weekly assessments also, if you are writing PYQs, please show it to your mentors. Please show them to your mentors, and mentors will provide you critical feedback on those PYQs as well. It is an absolutely correct question. Shivani, sir, Vajiram recital is helpful or not? Shivani, of course, Vajiram's recital is very helpful. It depends how you use it, and that's why I had like spoken on the issue, as in having a mentor by your side will help you extract more out of everything, whether be it recital or a test series or anything. Sir, I have studied earlier and appeared in prelims. Is this course suitable for me? My experience with other coaching, they run away and don't support. I'm sorry that you had to experience such sort of experience. However, this is absolutely good for you if you could if you can have a mentor by your side. Sir, I'll give my first attempt 25. Then should I join this 10-month program? Yeah, you can join it. You can join it. Saurabh. So I guess we are done with the questions. And thank you all for joining. I hope you had a very wonderful and informative, educative session. Thank you. Thank you all.